Alright guys, today I figured I would change it up a little bit. We're gonna do something a little bit different. Are you guys excited? Drum roll please. Yeah, it's time to do a voiceover video. I figured I would try and branch out and, now's a better time to experiment than any, so here we go. We're just gonna talk over some anime clips and we're gonna make a nice feel-good video. And by feel-good video, I mean we're gonna talk about something really fucking dark and deep. Yep, that's right. We're gonna talk about my previous mistakes as a child, specifically the abusive relationships that I somehow always managed to find myself in. And what a better way to really hit the point home, but compare it to one of my favorite animes, which, yes, I may have watched more than once. Actually, I've watched it about 3 times. I'm not exactly proud of it, but yeah, I'm gonna admit it to you guys now because I'd like to think that I am a Mirai Nikki savant at this point. So, without further ado, here we go. This is it. We're doing it. We're doing it right now. We all do stupid things when we're younger and shit we regret. I can't count on my hands how many times I've done something and looked back and went, oh yeah, what the hell was I thinking? Some small mistakes and some bigger, but regardless, I've definitely made them and I'm probably going to continue making them. So I figured I would make this video talking about one of the biggest mistakes that I've made in my life, and what better way to drive it on home than to use an anime that really does bring some of the issues that I was struggling with at the time to light, Mirai Nikki. Before I get into too much detail with my strange adolescent life, I should at least roughly explain the plot of Mirai Nikki. There's not really a way that I can kind of avoid spoiling some of the show for you guys without, compromising the integrity of this video, so for the point of this video, you're going to be seeing some clips and hearing about some things that if you want to watch Mirai Nikki, it's probably going to ruin it a bit for you, and I'm sorry, but, such is life. Mirai Nikki follows around a main male protagonist, Yuki, and I use the word protagonist lightly because Yuki is not exactly your ideal protagonist. Actually, he's kind of a piece of shit. Yuki is a middle school student who quickly finds himself in the middle of a survival game put on by Deuce, the god of space and time. Yuki is awarded a future diary, hence the name of the anime, in which he must use to survive and find and kill the other 11 diary owners.
There can be only one. Another time.
If he is successful, he replaces Deuce on the throne and then becomes the god of space and time. There's just one problem. Yuki is a useless piece of shit, and he can't really do much on his own. It's quite embarrassing. It's actually extremely pathetic to watch. Sometimes I actually wanted to punch my screen while watching this anime. It's really, really, really hard to get behind this guy. So then why watch the anime at all? In enters the main female role, Yuno. Yuno saves this whole anime. Yuno is like, if I were to have a waifu, it would be Yuno. She's pretty cool. I mean, she's fucking nuts, but she's pretty cool. Yuno also happens to be a diary owner and also happens to be madly in love with Yuki. And she's willing to do pretty much anything, including killing small children. And she does that. A lot. I mean, not a lot. Well, I guess the 13-year-olds she blows up in the school count as small children, so yeah, she does it a lot. In fact, throughout pretty much 70% of the whole show, Yuno is protecting Yuki. It's kind of pathetic, but it's also badass because, love triumphs all, she's a pimp, and she would do anything for this guy. But it begins to get a little bit unhealthy, and when I say unhealthy, I mean she ties him up and steals him and keeps him in a control room? I'm not exactly sure. It's fucked. You gotta watch it. It's a really fucked up show. Yuno's love for Yuki is almost dog-like, and no matter what happens or how she's treated, she continues to stalk and protect Yuki. That's pretty much the basis of the show, or at least that's all you really need to know for the point that I'm trying to hit here. So, as I was watching this anime, I started to get a little bit uncomfortable because the longer I watched it, the more I realized, holy shit, I can relate to Yuno on a personal level. Which, by the way, shouldn't be a good thing, seeing as she's obviously mentally not all there. This anime is meant to depict the damage that can be done by an unhealthy relationship formed in extreme circumstances, and the 14-year-old me can definitely relate to that message. Much like Yuno, my family life wasn't great at the time. There was a lot of mental illness and confusion going on at home. I felt like I had no purpose and no one to love me. I felt insignificant. This led me to find and cling on to a guy to obsess over and protect. Now, not any guy is going to fall for that type of girl, and I'm sure at the time I set off a lot of red flags for a lot of guys to stay away. But I ended up finding one and clinging onto that guy who didn't feel like he could do much / wasn't doing well in class and didn't have very many friends. Just like Yuki, he wasn't exactly able to do much for himself / didn't want to. This was the perfect mix for a very unhealthy relationship. Throughout the anime, Yuki convinces himself more and more that it's okay or justified to use Yuno to survive. He convinces himself it's okay to be selfish because Yuno allows for the option for him to be selfish. No matter what Yuki does, Yuno's self-esteem is so non-existent that she allows for it to happen, and in turn, it gets worse. This is basically what happened between me and the guy I was dating. Things became abusive, and I was so desperate to keep him happy and be his everything that I allowed for it. Now, you can imagine this didn't end well, and it doesn't. Both parties start to rely on each other way too much, to the point where they can't function without one another. We both alienated anybody who cared about us, and anyone who spoke up about the relationship we just cut out of our lives completely. We wound up alone, and we finally figured out that the damage we caused not only to ourselves, but to everybody around us, it was too late to fix it. Things spiraled out of control, and it really did feel unfixable. It took me a long time to get over and recover from this kind of relationship. It was a huge chunk of my adolescence, and if I could go back, I definitely would have avoided all of it. I wish that I could have went back and talked to my former self and said, hey, you know what, like, this time is going to pass. If I could have known what I know now about myself and what actually drove me to do the things that I did and what I thought love was at the time, I feel like things would have been a lot different. And in a lot of ways, this anime is a great explanation of how and why these things happen. I guess the moral of the story in this situation is, you receive the love that you feel you deserve. And I know that that's super cliche, but it's actually extremely true. Back then, I really didn't think I was worth much, and I looked to fill the void with another human being. Instead of having a relationship to add to my life, I had a relationship that was my life. This anime really highlights that whole concept, and it's probably the reason why I related to Yuno so much. It really is important to understand that filling a void with another human being is extremely unhealthy, and you should probably wait until you like yourself before you try adding another person into your life. That's one thing that took me a lot of years and a lot of terrible relationships to realize. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of the voiceover video. Give me some likes and subscriptions if you want, and comment below. You guys are all really cool, and thanks for watching, and see you next time.